Hello, welcome to this video. Today, Dovetail have just announced the Train Sim World 2 coming on the 6th of August. Now, I don't know why they decided to do this. When I first heard about this, I was like, is this another like cash grab? Because I was just going to be very annoyed about that. Reading more in depth to it, they've got pros and cons, but I'm not entirely sure if this is really necessary at the moment. So, uh, the big main thing about this new simulator that's going to be a partner, I would say, with Train Sim World is that the fact that in this we'll get creative. So we'll get a scenario planner like in Train Simulator 2018. We can create scenarios, we can make maps. I believe we can create maps, or maybe not just yet. There is also going to be a livery designer, a built-in livery designer, so you can customize and make your own liveries for your trains. Now, you're going to get the ice DB Ice 3M. I can't remember what the route's called. You're also going to get the London Underground, the Bakerloo line, as well as I believe the base map that comes with Train Sim World again, along with this update, unless it's a different route. Now, the big thing that they are putting out is that they've updated their SimuGraph vehicle dynamics engine, which is the engine that runs the games, so to speak. Now, what I'm confused about is why can't you just update the SimuGraph to Train Sim World? Is it just not that possible unless it's made with a different engine? So currently, Train Sim World is made in Unreal Engine. Unless they have a different engine and completely different code or blueprints is what they use, shouldn't it be that easy to put that update into the original game and not have to faff with it? That's something I don't quite understand. So if we go down here to the FAQs, of which there are many, if we go to here, so they say that Train Sim World is going to be a new simulator for all the consoles. Well, the two main ones and PC, of course. And it's going to be separate. It's going to be a separate experience to Train Sim World. And they claim, or the claims say, same shit. We need to bring Train Sim World forward by advancing the engine and evolving SimuGraph. We can add new features and more types of train simulation. Train Sim World will include high speed and longer freights for the first time and set future sights on Steam engines, multiplayer, and more. Now, I've been wanting a Steam engine in Train Sim World for quite some time, and multiplayer more when they first announced it 2 to 3 years ago when Train Sim World first came out. Now, I don't exactly know why they can't just throw this update into Train Sim World unless it is completely rewritten code or blueprints. If it's still made in the Epic, no, Unreal Engine, sorry. Because for me, it seems like it's just a simple update. It'll be a big update, but just a simple update. But unless it is just completely different and they physically can't add that in, this is why this is the thing. Another question that I'm thinking is that what will happen for people who already own Train Sim World? Do they have to pay full price? How much is this going to cost? As far as I'm concerned, multiplayer will not be a part of this on launch, but there's a section of multiplayer down there. The features that Train Sim World 2 will include is the scenario planner, as we saw before, in-game livery design, physics. I don't even know how I'm going to. I don't want to attempt to say that. But this is a part of it. There's that down here that we'll have a look at too. A preserved collection for add-ons. New Dovetail Live features including a driver logbook, online debriefs, and railfan shots. So that's just a bunch of like online account shit. Immersion features, the German high-speed line, and the London Underground with the Sam Patch grade. Arriving on all consoles for the first time, bringing significant gameplay upgrades for PC. So yeah, that's what they do that, and they've got a section about here not upgrading the game, and they pretty much just said that we need to bring Train Sim World forward, advancing the engine, evolve Simu Graph, and they specify that that's Dovetail's physics engine that powers Train Sim World, adding new features capable of more time. So yeah, so they pretty much just say this back up here again. They don't really give us an exact explanation as to why they're not just upgrading the old game. And this is a physics that brings Will Slip and Will Slide to Train Sim World. Now we don't have this in we have Will Slip but not Will Slide, I don't think, in Train Sim World, or at least I haven't experienced it personally. Also, this longer freight comment, I think, is not exactly correct, because I've had some pretty long trains. It just has a loading screen to go from one end to the other. Maybe that's what they mean. Maybe they've completely cut that out, and you don't have to have a loading time, so to speak, to get to the end of your train. I don't know. Maybe it's not as long as I thought it was. Or maybe they have like intentionally humongous lengths to go with that. So that's that. They go on about the routes and the livery design and the planning scenarios. The livery design planner cannot be shared currently, or maybe in the future. And scenario planner. Okay, so they both can't be shared or sold right now. And this, so cleaner information. Oh, sorry, clever information. Cleaner. It's been a long day. Instructions on progression, gradient, and speed profiles as you drive. A new HUD displays. Along with onboard systems, brake controls, power meters, and the fifth words here. I should just get like a Google Translate and have that. So they say that it's pretty much just like a revamped Train Sim World at this point. Easier access to external camera mode and entering other vehicles, constellation, while full physics and simulation are running. And yeah. So your collection comes with you. So this is something that I actually like, and I don't think it's just a cash money grab, because every asset that you have in Train Sim World will be converted over to Train Sim World 2. You'll still have Train Sim World. I'm not sure if they're still going to make maps for Train Sim World, or they're going to do maps that go to both games. I'm not sure how that's going to happen. But every DLC that you have currently in Train Sim World, if you have it, will be automatically free to download in Train Sim World when it comes in Train Sim World 2 when it comes out, which is great, which is really great. And here they specify, yes, your purchase add-on routes and locos from Train Sim World will be free to download to play within Train Sim World, and all this just making sure you have all your shit. This comment down here, Train Sim World 2 overwrite Train Sim World in any way. They won't. They'll be played independently as a part of the thing. And Sand Patch Grade, I'm pretty sure that was the first map that was along with Train Sim World. Will add-ons be released in Train Sim World, or add-ons released after the launch of Train Sim World 2? Work in Train Sim World only. We'll have to do this in order to take advantage of the features of the sim. So I believe they're not going to do any more maps for Train Sim World. I'm not 100% sure. Here's that. Oh no, they are still doing it in Unreal Engine. I haven't properly read through all this. Livery and scenario editor, first time journey releasing, yeah, blah 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 blah. Creating tools, yada yada yada. Releasing the full editor on PC is far more complex. It's a far more complex process than it was in the original Train Simulator. To begin, it requires a full download of Unreal Engine 4. Okay. Itself, and there is a number of other unique plugins of your own, such as SimuGraph and others that are critical to building both locos and routes. Building locos? They're going to give the power to make locos? Interesting. We know from both closed-door testing and working with experienced third-party developers that this isn't an easy editor to use, and until we have resolved these issues, we're not going to release anything more wildly. Okay, so they've got a pretty in-depth editor to come, I would say, which honestly may be pretty good. And the multiplayer, one of the big things that I'm quite keen for, we want to bring multiplayer to Train Sim World, and now we have a design that we think will work great in social experience. It is a critical to be the design based on the experience mode, bringing the right rules and communications to the online experience. So, multiplayer is not part of the Train Sim World on launch, but it is in the future roadmap as it has been for the past 2-3 years. But this is the first time that I've heard of it since the trailer back 2-3 years ago, so it's clearly not been forgotten. Track IR and rail driver support. What is that? Hang on. No, I don't want to copy all that. No, is that just like eye tracking? What's the other one? So what that is, eye tracker. Hang on. That's the wrong one. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it is. It's just pretty. It's like VR, but without VR. If that makes sense. So where you're looking, the camera will face, or how you move your head. Okay, that's cool. And Rail Driver. What's Rail Driver? Oh, the actual controller thing that I've actually been wanting to get. But like, I think it's like an arm and a leg to get. Okay, so there's no controller support for that yet, but we'll have in the future. Okay, so and just a bunch of stuff on Unreal Engine. And oh, hello. We're already working with a small group of talented developers who are making routes and locos in Train Sim World. In the Train Sim World, multi-platform development is so much harder. Well, it's much harder to do this. We're happy to hear from you via the third-party publishing team. If you are experienced at developing an Unreal Engine and PC console platforms. Okay, so they're just if you want to make a map and you want to work with them, then you can. Your save won't go over. I read this. Where the fuck? Here it is. Yeah, save won't go over. It's a brand new save, which is understandable, really. My biggest issue is that when they release this, if it's gonna feel and look the same as Train Sim World, it's gonna completely change my opinion on this. Because if it has to be different. It has to be different to Train Sim World, or I don't think people are going to enjoy another full price game just so there's a scenario editor, a multiplayer, and a fucking livery editor. Because you could have just updated that all into the original game, which makes sense. But I don't know how they've developed the game, so I can't really exactly point fingers. But yeah, so that's the take on that. I'm still gonna buy it, see how it is, especially for the London Underground Bakerloo line. That's going to be my next favorite route to come. And hopefully we can see multiplayer and a bunch of customization in terms of full editing, full map editors in the near future. But as I said, they say it's quite a complex editor. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching me do broken English for 17 minutes. Ciao.